Welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video. There was a recent comment by someone on the team. It was Matt, who's been on the team for quite a while. But it was a comment on our last Ultimate Fallout 4 video that we did that really kind of hit home for me. And basically what he said was like, you know, Ultimate Fallout 4 is really hot right now, but just wait until like some of these MCU live action Miles Morales movies actually start to happen. You know, there's probably going to be a whole nother leg up of prices. And I mean, he kind of, you know, wrapped up his comment by saying that these $3,000 prices in the 9.8 in the first print could be a thing of the past for sure when that live action Miles Morales movie comes. And it just started making me think about kind of the outlook for an Ultimate Fallout 4 in the first print in a 9.8 moving forward. I pretty much agree with him completely. Like during, you know, a confirmation of like a live action MCU Miles Morales movie, this book's definitely going to be higher in price than it is right now. But you know what? I think during that type of environment, like, you know, MCU Miles Morales is coming, there's going to be so much hype, so much promotion, so much extra demand being generated. I feel like in that environment, we really have to look out for kind of a bubble type of scenario. What I would really look out for on an Ultimate Fallout 4 in a first print in the 9.8 to kind of signal if maybe there is a bubble or not is if the price in this one in the 9.8 started approaching, just two key issues come to mind. A Star Wars #1 in a 9.8 or an Amazing Spider-Man #300 in a 9.8. In my opinion, both of these books are better than an Ultimate Fallout 4 in a 9.8. And this is like, you know, coming from Ultimate Fallout 4, almost 3,000 9.8s in the blue label. Both of those other ones, there's over 1,000 in Amazing Spider-Man 300, but a super low 9.8 ratio. And then there's less than 1,000 on the Star Wars #1 9.8. So for me, objectively, those are just way better 9.8s. So in my opinion, I think the alarm bells are going to start ringing when the price of an Ultimate Fallout 4 in the first print 9.8 reaches a Star Wars #1 or an Amazing Spider-Man 300 in a 9.8. So Star Wars #1, recent sale on that one. There was one, it was $5,399 it went for. You go back like a month or so ago, one went for $4,700. Amazing Spider-Man 300, they were kind of going in the low 5,000s for a few months there, kind of pulling back about, you know, 3-4 months ago. But a recent sale on that one went for $6,100 on a Comic Link. So right now, you know, an Ultimate Fallout 4 in the first print 9.8 is $3,500. You know, it's kind of right around there. You can watch that other video for a more sort of current strategy on an Ultimate Fallout 4. If you want to buy it right now, I'd maybe recommending to hopefully wait for a bit of a pullback closer to $3,000 in the short term. But they're right around $3,500. So they're not up to kind of 4,700, 5,000, 6,100 like the Amazing Spider-Man 300 or Star Wars #1 is. So what I would really just look out for moving forward is certainly like the MCU Miles Morales movie will probably coincide with this. But you just want to look for an Ultimate Fallout 4 in a first print 9.8 approaching a Star Wars #1 in price, or even if it happens at some point maybe past that, Star Wars #1 or Amazing Spider-Man 300 in the 9.8 in price, I think the alarm bells got to start ringing at that point, and pretty much at that point it's going to be 100% do not buy, and maybe even you want to think about selling, because usually a bubble, that's going to be the peak of prices for kind of the short to medium term, I would say. Usually bubbles, they don't really burst really fast, they kind of slow death. So, you know, say the prices really are at a peak during this MCU Miles Morales movie, and then after that it's just like a very slow death over 3 to 5 years maybe, where it's just kind of a trending down book from that point. That's kind of my feeling, but you know, who knows what's going to happen. You know, one thing that's really making sense for me is if Ultimate Fallout 4 in the first print 9.8 starts to reach those Star Wars #1 or Amazing Spider-Man 300 prices in the 9.8, you know, I think the alarm bells should be ringing at that point, and you know, probably want to, you know, look at some other options beside an Ultimate Fallout 4 in the 9.8 during that kind of environment. Okay, but yeah, just a bit of a longer term outlook on an Ultimate Fallout 4 compared to our last video, which was like, if you want to buy it right now, what should you do? So you could check out that one as well. All right, team, good to hash it out, though. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks for Matt for a really kind of insightful comment for sure. But thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one. If you're liking my content, please subscribe and hit that bell, and I'll keep you updated on future videos.